Hey guys, welcome to another episode 1 of another new series. You'll be seeing this on 2 channels. This episode 1 of this Football Manager Journeyman save will be going live on the ChesnoidGaming channel, but all future episodes, including this episode 1 as well, it's going to be on both, will be going on the Chesnoid Plays channel. So if you're watching this on the ChesnoidGaming channel and you want to stay up to date with this Football Manager Journeyman save, there's a link down below, A, to the second channel where you'll be able to see edited highlights of this save, and B, to the Twitch channel where you'll be able to see every single save in its entirety. So do follow those links and get involved. I'll give you basically a gist of what's going to be happening in this save as we get started here, and we will take it as it comes. We don't know how well this is going to go. The job hunt is on. So I am starting unemployed in this save. So we currently don't have a job. I haven't chosen to start at a team. We are searching for a job within this save. These are the nations that I'm running. Argentine, all leagues in all of the nations. Some are view only, some are playable. So view only in all of Argentina. Belgium is playable. Brazil view only. Every English league as ever, and France, and Germany, and Holland, and Italy, and Portugal, and Scotland, and Spain, all playable, and Turkey is also view only. So, approximate player count is 285,000. So, hopefully, this is going to be a pretty damned good save. My profile, I have started with a National B licence, and with the past experience of semi-professional footballer. So my reputation is 5%. Not the best. My attributes are awful. So we have a lot to discover in this save. And the initial plan, as ever when I started Journeyman, is to not take any... I'm not going to take any of the jobs that are currently available at the beginning of the save. Not going to take any of the jobs that are available at the beginning of the save. So none of these am I going to take. Let me take international ones off there, actually. Because to start with, we're not going to be interested in that all reserve and youth teams. So I will not manage, as my first job, any of these sides. Obviously, the majority of them I wouldn't get even if I applied for them because of my past experience and my stats, basically. So as things stand, we're going to be advancing through. We'll start on the 27th of July, as you can see in the top right here. Now, obviously, you may well be new to this game. So if you have any questions throughout the course of this save and these videos and these streams, then by all means, let me know in the comment section down below. Ask. There is no such thing as a silly question when trying to learn genuinely about something new. So ask me questions in the comment section. Ask me questions in the chat. And in the chat, of course, as well, if you're here on stream, there'll be other people in chat that can help answer the questions if I'm busy creating content. There's obviously a live community there, your own personal Google, as you will. So let me know any questions you have about the game. If something comes up in the course of a video that you're not sure about, then ask. And we shall try and help you learn along the way. But this first episode is going to be us trying to get a job and just working our way through. I'm not necessarily going to holiday to... Wow, we've had job interviews right off the bat. I was not expecting that. But as we said, we are not going to take a job from any of the sides that are currently available. So I am rejecting all of those job interviews. We do have a message from one of the journalists in the game asking if I'm open to working abroad. Now, I've always been keen to take a job in a different country. If there are teams out there, I'm available. Initially, I would like to start in the UK as my first job. That's my preference. But if a job is appealing in a separate lower league in other countries, then I absolutely will look to take one of them. But as I mentioned, I'm not going to take any of these jobs that are initially available. We want to wait until the save is developed a little bit. Otherwise, that kind of nullifies the whole idea of starting unemployed if I then immediately jump into a job. Let's see how things progress. Let's see how clubs develop. And from there, we can see what jobs become available. I didn't feel like it was right. My circumstances wouldn't have allowed me to go forward with Wigan, is what we shall say. So in the YouTube video, I will cut now and I'll edit this content as and when we go through. Do drop the video a like if you enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to the second channel. That's Chesnoid Plays. Link in the description down below if you're watching on the ChesnoidGaming channel to stay up to date with this save. I'm looking forward to it very much. So we've got over 500 people here on Twitch as we're recording and moving forward as well. I've got Cambridge set as my favourite team, so we will have news stories occasionally from Cambridge United, because obviously you're able to set your favourite team as you work your way through a save. But some of those original jobs are going already. So the window of opportunity is about to open once we get a little bit further in. There's only 6 jobs left available. Weirdly, Barrow is there. If you are watching on the second channel and aren't aware of the first channel stuff, we've started a new FIFA save at Barrow on the ChesnoidGaming channel. That started this weekend as well. Saturday, as you see this, there'll also be episode 1 of the Youth Academy Career Mode with Barrow on FIFA on the ChesnoidGaming channel too. Right. Now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, let's advance a few weeks and months and see if we can't get ourselves a job, shall we? Your weekly job update. Recommended available job, Spennymoor Town. I am not going to be applying for this Spennymoor Town job. They were one of the available clubs, so I'm not going to take Spennymoor, Barrow, Colchester or Leyton Orient. Once we get other jobs that become available there, then we might well start applying. And we are underway. Thank you all for joining me, by the way. Over 500 of you here for this first stream is fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. I hope you'll stay with me over the next few months as we continue our way through this save. We're going to be playing this save all the way up until F1 2021 comes out. And Barrow, right, that should be all of them. Just Spennymoor. Just Spennymoor. Connor has gifted a sub to the channel. Thank you very much indeed, my man. It's gone to Pro Brad. And Fighting Kid has subscribed for a 5th month. Can't wait for this save. You and me both, my friend. Right, there are no jobs available. Let's go. Here is where we find out what's going to happen next. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, I'm excited. Now, it's interesting to see that some of the clubs that were initially available at the beginning of the save immediately were like, can we have you? I don't know if that's just kind of a starter for a new save when it kind of initially offers you those original jobs, and moving forward we might find it slightly more difficult to get offered jobs, or offered interviews. That's the key. That's the key, which is different to FIFA, of course. You don't get offered a job in Football Manager. You get offered an interview, and you go and speak to the board. You go through the interview process, and if you have a successful interview, then you might well be offered a job. But there absolutely certainly will be scenarios in this save where we apply for jobs, get an interview, and are unsuccessful in getting that job. That's the difference between FIFA and FM. In FIFA, a job's available, you want it, you click sign for club, and you have it. In Football Manager, it's not quite that simple. In real life, it's not quite that simple. Those of you that are mainly familiar with FIFA, Football Manager is a real-life simulation of the game of football. Not a video game of football, the real-life game of football. So anything that is as it is in real life is as it is in Football Manager, which isn't how things are in FIFA, which is one of the frustrating things about FIFA. I'd like FIFA to be more straightforward, more real-life relevant, like Football Manager is. It's a lot more detailed, Football Manager, and I can very much appreciate, for those of you that are solely FIFA guys, it may well look quite daunting with Football Manager, which is why I say leave all of the suggestions or questions in the comment section down below, and I'll answer them as and when I can to give you an idea of if there's anything you're unsure about. Then, you know, I'll try and open your eyes and help you understand. It can look quite daunting from the outside, but trust me, when you play it, everything makes sense. It's not like FIFA where there's a mechanic that can be confusing, like how does the training work and what's this development schedule and this and that. In Football Manager, everything makes logical sense as you would imagine it would be in real life, which makes it a hell of a lot easier to pick up and understand, even though it can be quite visually daunting. Now, as we get to the 31st of August, there aren't any jobs available yet, but I can sort here by job status, and the Aberdeen job is insecure. How far do I think I can go? Fingers crossed, all the way to the top. Last year's Journeyman we started unemployed, and we got the Maidstone job in the Vanarama National League South, the bottom league in England. We were there for a year and a half, and then got the Ipswich job in League One. We were there for a year and got the Everton job in the Premier League. We were there for a year and then got the Manchester City job. And we were there for a year and then we got the Borussia Mönchengladbach job in Germany after getting sacked at City. It was the first job we got sacked at before moving, rather than just applying for a job and moving from club to club. We've had a question from Jacob Nelson at teamtalk.com. Are you at all concerned at being a little rusty when you land a job? I'm just out of a 16-year career at Cambridge United. I think I'll be fine. I know there's always work to do. I'm looking forward to getting stuck in when the time comes. I'm going to be playing catch-up for a while, that's for sure. I think I'm going to have some time away from the game to collect my thoughts. I may not be in employment, but my time has not been wasted. I've studied a number of teams and I have a ton of ideas I can't wait to try out. And I don't think it's appropriate time. I'm going to say, I know there's work to do. I'm looking forward to getting stuck in when the time comes. And the time may be just around the corner. There are some insecure jobs that keep cropping up, but as of yet, nobody's been sacked. We set the save up, we've selected our leagues, we're working our way through. We've had a couple of questions from journalists, but as of yet, no jobs have become available. My reputation is 5%, Harvey. Half a star. I won't apply for every single job, clowning, no. When a job becomes available, we'll have a look at the club, have a look at the squad, have a look at their financial situation and make a decision based on whether we think that we can take that club forward tactically and with hopefully some money behind us. One trick that I've always tried to do is, especially when a job becomes available in a slightly higher division, sometimes, say a club is in the bottom half of one division, they might hire a manager from a high-flying team in the division below them. Then you get to potentially take over, rather than taking the bottom half division job where everyone's kind of on a downer and everybody's hating life and it's not going very well. Rather than applying and taking that job, you could maybe wait, see who they appoint, and if they appoint someone from the top half of a league below where everything's going well and everyone's in good spirits and the team are playing well and performing well, that's the job to apply for. That's sometimes my route in trying to get into management. You've been unemployed for some time now. What are your plans for the immediate future? I'm unemployed because nobody's got sacked yet. I'm going to have to cast the net wider and consider working in places I hadn't previously considered. I think a short-term position would be ideal now, somewhere I can go with a clear task to achieve whilst being able to prove my credentials at the same time. Absolutely, that is what I would like to do. The first sacking. The first job that has become available is Malaga in the Spanish 2nd Division. Now, I highly doubt that we stand a chance of getting a job like that, but as it's the first job that's become available, I will apply for it. But purely because it's only the first one that's available, I don't even think they'd consider me for an interview, let alone actually giving me the job. But we shall wait and see. Derek Adams has been sacked at Morecambe. Derek Adams has been sacked at Morecambe. Emma Hayes is currently favourite to take over. Now, her stats you can see there. You can see what her stats are and her reputation and her licence. Now, I am not even close to having Continental A licence, all that sort of reputation, all those stats. Compare that profile with mine of a National B licence, reputation of minimal, less than half a star. She had like 2.5, wasn't it? And they're my attributes. I'm not on that level. So if she's favourite for that Morecambe job, I doubt I'd get that. They are rock bottom of League 2 right now without a win in 11 games. They haven't been in the conference for a good 14 years or so. But, oof, that is not the sort of club that you want to take over as your first job in management. That is going to be rough. With your National B licence and semi-pro experience, I think you'd be a good fit for Arsenal. Espanyol B. The manager's job at Espanyol B has become available. Now that is something that we could take. Because they're in the second division B3, not the Segunda Liga, there are various different divisions in the Spanish lower leagues below the second division, which is obviously as far as things go on FIFA. Espanyol B could be a job that would be intriguing enough to entice us into taking should it be offered to us. I will apply for that one. A question from the Not the Top 20 podcast from Harry Evans. Do you have any thoughts on the pressure facing Mark Molesley at Southend? At Southend? I'll say I hope they stick with him. I'm gonna be the sort of manager that is part of the Managers Association, the sort of manager that shows support to all of his fellow colleagues when they're in rough spots. Because at some point in this save, we will find ourselves in one of those rough spots, and it would be nice if other managers backed me up. So I want to be, you reap what you sow, and we shall sow kindness, as I'd encourage you to do in your own lives as well in real life, and as I try to do in real life myself as well. Be kind to one another is the motto that I try and live by. We have an interview! We have an interview number 1! Someone wants me! And it's Espanyol! Espanyol B! Following your application for the Espanyol B job, the board have invited you to attend an interview with them to discuss the vacancy. One of the reasons that the board decided to offer you an interview is because they feel you would be an acceptable fit for the club's somewhat scaled back vision for the future. I'm not sure what that means. That kind of says to me that they're being pretty unambitious. The interview will give you the opportunity to discuss your suitability for the role and allow us to discuss our ambitions and plans with you in more detail. I will attend the interview. Thank you, Lorenzo, for the 4th month as well, my man. Good luck for the interview. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it very much indeed. Your contract has been extended as we hope to get a contract of our own. Attend interview. Hola, Chen. Hola. Hello, Chris. We've invited you along today so we can put forward our vision for the club and allow you to suggest alterations for us to consider should we decide to hire you. I'm glad you've given me the chance to talk to the club. Let's get down to business. How would you overcome the relatively big obstacle of not speaking the language? It's a football manager. It's all in English anyway. So I'll say, football is something of a universal language, isn't it? I can get my message across. Don't you worry about that. Can you explain why you appear to be in the running for a few jobs right now? I always respond with this by saying I'm merely considering my options. We want to ensure that the dressing room atmosphere is much better than it was under our previous manager. Can you assure us that there would be no problems were we to hire you? I'm not going to promise. I'm not going to promise anything. I say I shouldn't imagine it would be a problem, but I would also have thought there were more pressing concerns as far as this. I don't want to be quite so gung-ho, but I also don't want to promise. So I'm not going to... It's something they want, so they want to ensure it, so I'm not going to dismiss it. I'm going to say that one. I don't want to promise anything yet. So, we would like to share our vision for the future with you, as the successful candidate will be required to make it become a reality. If you have any reflections on it, now's the time to speak up. So they have an initial favoured importance to develop players using the club's youth system. That's effectively what Espanyol B is all about. Develop players for the main club is required. Give playing time to first team players is required as well. So presumably players that are out of favour or out of form or struggling for fitness from the Espanyol main team would become available to me in the B team. Then they want me, the end of the current season, the vision would be to fight bravely against relegation from the second division B3 and then fight for a playoff spot moving forward. I'd agree. I'd agree with that. That's fine. We aren't in a position to set any expectations for you to meet for the current season. That's fine. I understand. That draws things to a close nicely. We would like to extend our appreciation to you for attending today and we'll be in touch to inform you of our decision. Muchas gracias, amigo mío. Leave the meeting. We have attended and taken our first interview. Whether Espanyol B decide to move forward with us, we will wait and see. How long do you stay at each club? I don't have a set time, Deck. Espanyol B approach would. We may well have job number 1. We may well have job number 1. I'm going to start a poll in this Twitch chat, and you're going to have to vote on this. Do we take the Espanyol B job? It's a quite simple yes or a quite simple no. You've 2 minutes. Vote. Wow. The vote ends 50-50. 50-50. But it's ended 50-50. 976 votes for yes. 993 votes for no. 993 votes for no. We will not be taking the Espanyol B job. We will not be taking the Espanyol B job. Twitch chat have voted for no. 1860 Munich in the Dry League. That could be an absolutely banging save. Or a great job to get. I'm going to apply for that one. 1860 Munich could be superb. Leaks link me with the job. Oh, no, it's just they've leaked that I've applied for it. Lena Freiss, can you comment on the rumours that you've applied for the 1860 Munich job? Everyone's ambitious. We look at the likes of Jose Mourinho and think that could be me one day. Maybe not Jose. It would be a fantastic opportunity, and any manager worth their salt would be interested. I'd be honoured to be considered, and I absolutely would. 1860 Munich. That's a big club with big history. A big club with big history. That'd be a massive job to take. I don't know if I'd want Stevenage or Southend, though. I'm going to say no to those. Not necessarily, Con. No, you don't have to be approached to move on in a journeyman. You can make it up yourself. You can go if you want. You can not go if you don't want. 1860 Munich fans laugh off the interest from me. Well, I don't think I'll be getting that one. Do you? Thanks for the follow, Desperado. Oh, that's gutting. That's very gutting. The job that I was like, oh, that's exciting. And the fans are like, not a chance, pal. Oh, man. That's not very nice. Lads, the fans laughed me off. The fans laughed me off. But 1860 Munich offer me a job interview. The board do have slight reservations about your suitability, about the whole leading size promotion thing, but unlike Nancy, they will give me a job interview. The board are pleased. Yes, let's get down to business. I'm merely considering my options. The club would be looking for a candidate capable of performing to competition expectations. Would I be able to do that better than with the predecessor? I've always been more about the process than the result, and I'd suggest the club needs to focus on more than just one competition, or I'm confident of achieving every target set for me. I haven't necessarily promised anything there, despite that saying promised. What makes you the ideal candidate to save a club unexpectedly struggling against relegation, having been clear of trouble early in the season? I can say, I like to consider myself a strong motivator and leader. When times are hard, it's important to keep spirits as high as possible. I've always said that morale is very important. Reputation speaks for itself. I have the managerial acumen to get the required results. I've got the passion, fight, and spirit required. Cooler heads will always prevail, and I know what it takes to avoid relegation. We'll give it everything we've got, and if that's not good enough, then so be it. I'm almost offended that you even needed to ask me that. I personally felt like there was always a chance this would happen, but definitely give it everything in order to stay up. I'm going to say, I think I'm leaning towards either the fight, passion, and spirit, or consider myself a strong motivator and leader. Which one, lads? Motivator or passion? Motivator or passion? Motivator is what the majority is saying. Motivator we will go for. How would you feel about working with our current director? I'm more than happy to work with the director of football. As part of the recruitment process, we are willing to allow you to request changes to our current backroom staff. It's fine. I don't want to make any changes to the backroom staff. So, we would like to share our vision for the future. Develop players using the club's youth system is absolutely required. And to work within the wage budget is absolutely required. The 5-year plan would be mid-table in the Dry League this season, reach the playoffs next season with the aim of getting promoted, and then stay in the Zweibundesliga over the next few years. I'm happy with those proposals. If hired, we would expect you to avoid relegation, with us unable to consider keeping you in the role should be relegated. Do you think you can do better than that? I'll say... Oh, do I say I'll avoid relegation? I'm not going to say top half, but do I say we could finish mid-table? Mid-table or avoid relegation, lads. I don't want to commit... I don't want to be too gung-ho about it. They're currently 17th in the Dreiliga, but they're only 3 points from 15th, and then a further 3 points from, or 4 points from 11th-ish. The majority saying avoid relegation, though. If I say top half, yeah, I know if I say top half, I'll have more chance of getting the job, but I'd also have a much bigger chance of losing the job sooner. A lot of you saying avoid relegation. They have a good squad to be... Yeah, I'm going to say mid-table. Because that's what they said in the vision. In the club vision, they said mid-table. So I'm agreeing with that. A proposed transfer budget of £14,000. I'm not going to argue with them about money. Sure. And a wage budget of £56,000. And I don't know what they're currently spending on wages, so I'll just agree. Any requests? A parent club. Can I do that? Can I do that? A link with a parent club. We don't agree with your proposal for us to set up a parent club. Fine, I agree. That's fine. I'll say no further requests. There we go. Our interview with 1860 Munich is complete. Whether we get the job or not remains to be seen, but I hope so. That's the first job where I hope I get it. I know, if we get the job, the fans will be pissed. They don't want me at all. They laughed me off. But the board were like, you might be our man. And it's the board at the end of the day that we need to satisfy. Thanks for the follow, Wilfie. And Ryan is crying for the Dons. You never know. Aberdeen may offer me a job interview, but we'll wait and see. 1860 Munich, approach Wood. 1860 Munich, approach Wood. Lads, poll time. New poll. This time I will not allow additional votes. Do we take the 1860 Munich job? Yes or no? I will put this one with a caveat, though, that I would like this job. I would like this job. The poll is up. You have 2 minutes. Right. The vote is complete. 8% no. 92% yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a job. Start negotiations. They would like to offer me a 2-year deal with £2,000 a week. That'd be nice. 30% promotion wage rise and 35% relegation wage drop. Not that we could get relegated because we're already in the bottom division available for Germany. The club vision would be develop players via the club's youth system, work within the wage budget, finish mid-table this season, and then reach the playoffs next season. Finalised deal. We are, wait for it, 1860 Munich manager. We have a job.